what I'll do is I'll go into this next. So we've kind of covered websites and landing pages, and I've given a bit of way about how to actually set up a website. We should give you a lot of ways today. Now let's talk about traffic. So you've got your website set up. You know, you've got your landing pages, or you've got a landing page strategy. You know, at the end of the day, they're going to have to come to you. You're going to have to release that somehow, and you want to measure it, basically measurable marketing. How is that actually performing? So this is where traffic generation and conversion comes in. So marketing is quite simple online. Traffic plus conversion equals a sale. So let's take this guy here, Jack. He just bought someone's product. There's 20 visitors on the website. One of them turned to a sale. It's a 5% conversion rate. This is all how internet marketing works. Now, you know, there are things here like the type of traffic. You know, that type of conversion rate is actually very unrealistic. I found some Google images. That example would be very targeted traffic, because, you know, 20 people came and someone bought it. It'd probably be a lot more than that in the real world. But if it's targeted traffic, you can get those types of numbers. I've had 90% conversion rates before, but it was a landing page where it was a referral pipe driving that traffic, so it's pretty trusted. So once you've come up with your strategy and you've actually set this stuff up, it's basically going, how do I get people to my website, and then how do I convert them? So I just want to cover some of these bases. And I'm just going to give you some terminology stuff. What's the difference between SEO and SEM? Who gets about 5 emails a week from India saying about their brilliant SEO services? Who gets frustrated with this? SEO is basically, there's 2 listings in Google. There's the listing, let's say this was Google. You've got a listing below the paid ads, so this is more yellow, have you seen that? And then you have the listings here, and then normally you have Google Maps. SEO is relevant to those lower listings, because that's based on how your website looks, how people are talking about your website, how people are pointing links to your website. So if I was to describe SEO, SEO is a process, it's super simplified, a process of things you do to your website, so there's keywords and where they're placed and so on, things you do off your website, so having people link to your website, referring and so on, to make Google think you're more of an authority to help rank that over time. So it's a process. Whereas SEM is quite different. Here you go, Google, here's $1,000, get you some business. So SEM is search engine marketing. So in industry terms, it's traffic you pay for. So like eBay, you might bid on, you know, someone's work, or bid on a new computer or whatever. That's how Google's advertising system works. There are keywords that you can bid on to get those people to come to your website. So paid ads. These are probably 2 of the more effective ways of marketing online. Why? Because they're already searching for something. So they're typing in like motel artwork. They're looking for it. You know, they're proactive, they're searching, they're looking for ideas. So this is one of the more powerful ways of marketing online. Now, SEO, like I said, is a process, and people try to manipulate the system to try to make it work better. But if you go with simple principles, Google are looking for authority. So if you can start making your website an authoritative website, so you're an expert in something or you've got recognition, that's the principle. How you do that, that could be taught over time. SEM, they very well support paid advertising. They actually give you $75 worth of free credit. So if you go to Google and type in $75 Google AdWords credit, you can actually get the voucher. And they're trying to get people to put in money. Obviously they have, I'm going to Silicon Valley, so they have something like 40,000 people in a campus in America working for Google. How are they funded? SEM, not SEO. So they have to make SEM work to pay all their bills. So it does work. And I most of my support with our clients, but saying that SEM works best for commodity products. So things that a lot of people are looking for. If it's a bit, like niche stuff works well with SEO because you can rank and you don't have to spend much money to get that up. Whereas with SEM, you want to be looking at, like I said, commodity. What's the commodity? Artwork for hotels. It's something that people need. Facebook this has been radically changing. So this is another way of bringing traffic to your website. Facebook have currently changed it all up on how to run campaigns for websites. This is quite effective because I think the reason why I like Facebook ads at the moment is you can actually target, with Jim we were talking about before, the 50 to 65 women in Canberra. Now, just by launching a Facebook ad to your website doesn't mean you get business straight away. I would say Facebook is more of a marketing funnel than a bang for buck advertising. So with a Facebook ad, you're trying to get them to like a page, and then you're using content over time to build that funnel with them. So it's quite different. And they've got a new form of advertising in Facebook ads called boost posts. So if you're building this targeted, like let's call likes an email, a mailing list. That's all it really is, right? It's just a new way of doing mailing lists. You're getting them to like, they're subscribing to something. Once again, the strategy is getting a list, the tactic is being able to communicate with them on a regular basis. Facebook ads is like building a mailing list, and then the content is like sending out an email. But what they're doing is when you send out the content to they'll see your when you launch it, your friends or your followers or whatever you're going to call them see your content. It's got to be in a pollution of everybody's pointless statuses they put on Facebook. I had a banana this morning. I don't care. So you have to try to get more visible time on Facebook. So what they've done is they've just made this thing called boost posts, so you can boost it. So you do a post and you give them a bit of money and they'll put it up there longer. But like I said, it's not a bang for buck exercise. It's more of getting them to like something and then constantly having content so they gradually come to maybe one of your landing pages. Do you see how this stuff can all start to connect now? Website referrals is another traffic. So the big question is, who is dealing with my target market and how can I partner with them to do two things? One, bring traffic to my website, and to help with my authority with Google. So the more people linking to your website creates that authority, and obviously it can bring in targeted traffic. So there's, in all of the different industries in art, there are actually specific websites which promote work to a certain audience. So it's trying to create those partnerships. Now, we're talking local, Canberra. There may not be as many in Canberra, we're probably talking nationally, if you do have a product that you can market nationally. But website referrals, the question is what can I do locally as well, which is going to be Canberra's a much smaller pool of targeted industry websites. But let's talk about Google Analytics, because traffic generation conversion is really the heart of generating business online. Because the more traffic you have, the more conversions you have, the more prospects, leads. And it's not just about that sale, it's about getting the prospects, that's a conversion. A lead is a conversion, and a sale online is the ultimate conversion. But obviously it's easier to get prospects than it is to get sales online. But I just want to point out some things in terms of Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is Google's free, really robust analytical data of your website to see what's happening. Now most people look at it, and it's like when I look at my profit and loss, I just kind of go, what? There's so much information, I don't know where to start. That's what Google Analytics is like. So you need to know, what am I looking for? So I just wanted to give some pointers. Once again, this is a whole session, but I just want to point you in the right direction. So here are three key things to look at based on what we talked about. Visits. So how much traffic am I getting to my website? So when you're looking at Google Analytics, look for you're looking for unique visitors. People go, I've got 10,000 people coming to my website, where it might only be, a certain amount of unique visitors. So that's what you're looking for. Because that's going to tell you what? It's going to tell you people going to your website. That's about it. The second one is sources. So where is this traffic coming from? So for example, I do work for the Appliance Gallery. Have you heard of the Appliance Gallery? Most people have. And I look at their analytics now and then, and we upload a recipe. So they might get all this traffic for chicken kebabs or something, because I was one of their recipes. Yeah, that's great that they're getting heaps of traffic, but if it's for their recipes from Europe, once again, it looks good, but it's not relevant, because they're trying to target businesses in Canberra. So we've focused on stuff like Canberra appliances, or microwaves Canberra, or ovens Canberra, and that's where they're ranking for their keywords. So where are the sources, and what are some of the keywords that people are currently typing? And then you might look at it and go, that makes sense. People have these epiphanies. They go, I've been getting a lot of business from here. Now it's from my website. But you might be ranking number say number 9, and then you just need to work on boosting that over time. Once again, I won't go through that because that's the whole session, but there is a process of pushing that up the chain over time. So where is that traffic coming from? Is it targeted traffic? And look at, your referral sources and, what are the keywords, and Google, PPC, SEO, PPC, is they paid? If you're getting paid, it will tell you that. If it's organic, it'll tell you that. And then you can start going, okay, I'm getting some traffic. More importantly, landing pages. This is probably the big one. This is the most neglected. And that's why, I'll go back, this is really important. Because this will affect the bounce rate. So a bounce rate, that was the landing page breakdown, is they're looking at the page and they're leaving. Why are they filling out a form? You didn't have a good headline, maybe you didn't have good features and benefits, there was no urgency, you didn't actually have a call to action, that's why they're bouncing. So you need to grab their attention. It's like when you look at the newspaper, if you look at the newspaper, you're flicking through the newspaper, what article are you going to read? The one with the most compelling headline. Headlines are really important. So if you are doing an event, have one line that's really compelling to grab their attention. And if you want to make it really good, make it something that makes them go, what's that all about? And then they read the detail. So headlines. And normally what I do, and it's different on different industries, I have feature benefit in a headline, because that's what's going to grab people's attention, or a pain, or a problem, but in art, it could be, if I was doing a workshop, how, the pottery, how to become a master pottery expert in a half a day. I don't know what, you want to be realistic on your promises, but you want something to grab their attention to read more. In this class, you'll discover how to. I'm going to learn all this stuff. $15, 20 places only, be quick. I'm filling out the form now. That's the type of information you need on a landing page. And if you got and do this when you leave, look at your bounce rates. If it's people are bouncing, you just, I know it's all about visual arts and work in the creative industry. A lot of it is in marketing, is the headline. So you need to have, yes, you need to have visual stuff, but you need to have the content as well. So there's some things to look at. Sorry.
I don't understand bouncing. Doesn't everyone leave your page at some point? And
yeah.
So isn't it always 100%?
There is a percentage. So everyone leaves, but it's based on time they spend. There's a few metrics. So the bounce rate is that they've got a metric on bounces. So bouncing is gone in, out.
And is it out to another page on your website or out from your...
They break this all down, but it can be on that. They've got variations on all of this stuff. But I think the main one they go from is they just leave the website.
They break down pages and visits and amount of time spent on the page.
Time spent on site?
Yeah, I know which is the most popular page on my website.
What is that, Adam?
It's just one particular artwork from a recent exhibition.
Okay. Great.
They go to look at because they've heard about it elsewhere or they've seen it on Facebook.
Okay.
Are they going straight to that page?
No, they go to the home page and then there's an image on the home page that takes them through the portfolio, and that's where they go.
And then you make decisions on that, right? So I'm just prompting, what I would do if I was making a decision on that, I'd go, what's the work's name?
I've forgotten. Maybe it's called Unread, I don't know.
Unread, yeah.
Yeah.
People, that might be a bit buzz in Canberra, so they might type in that name, Canberra, for example. So then I would go, okay, I'm getting a lot of attention there. Are my keywords on the landing page? Because if you put the keywords on that particular page, in the right spots, it'll rank for that word Canberra. So you start going, well, if that's popular, I actually want that to rank. So it's looking, like once again, you kind of, we could do a whole session on this, but it's using a bit of common sense. But I think analytics training is a big need, because you can start, it's one thing to look at data, it's another thing to make decisions and go, how do I improve it? But these are just some prompters. I could spend forever on that. So just some things to analyse. Thanks for that example, that was great. Where is my traffic coming from? So you're going to put on the analyst brain at the moment. What are the best traffic generation options? What keywords could be improved in the ranking in Google? What are my traffic sources? Where are some good sources of traffic? Where are good sources of traffic I'm not using? And how am I tracking those conversions? So Google have things like conversion tracker. So when they fill out a form, put in a little bit of code, And in the conversion tracking part of Google Analytics, it'll tell you what they typed in to fill out that form. So there's analytics, but there's also conversion